All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of The Potential Project. I'm your host, Sean Calhoun, and if you're here, it's because you're ready to reduce stress, burn stubborn fat, and get your body working with you instead of against you. On this podcast, we're all about simple, no BS strategies for fitness, nutrition, and lifestyle. This way, you can feel strong, confident, and in control. I'll give you the tools, mindset shifts, and habits to help you look and feel your best without spending hours in the gym or stressing over every single meal. Now, let's get into it. All right, guys, welcome back. I'm excited to talk to you about today's topic. And no surprise, we're going to talk about health because primarily this is a health podcast. Although we do like to talk about becoming your best self in all areas of life, my biggest passion and the thing that I think will change the most people's lives in this world is improving their health. And if so many people want to improve their health, they want to feel better, have more energy, lose weight, balance their hormones. But most of the women I work with, the desire to improve comes from a place of needing to fix themselves, or that something is broken, or that something is wrong. So I want you to challenge your thoughts today and think about, what if the problem isn't you? What if it's the pressure you've put on yourself and the need to be fixed, right? We're going to talk about this conversation and this terminology of fixing something because I believe it's holding a lot of you back from not only getting the results that you want to get, but living the life that you want to enjoy, right? Taking a deep breath, feeling safe, and just being able to go through this life being present and getting all that there is out of this life, right? Enjoying laughter, enjoying good times with people, good food, enjoying the scenery, whatever it is, the good times, the bad times. You need to be present in order to get all the juice for your squeeze out of this life. And the first thing that I want to bring up and talk about is this whole mindset of being fixed, right? Like, a lot of women talk to me, and when it comes to their goals and their fitness and wanting to improve, they tell me that they've tried everything. They've done new diets, they've done detoxes, bought supplements, tried different workouts, because deep down, they feel broken or that they're not enough. And this kills me, right? You see people pushing themselves to the absolute limit because deep down inside, they don't feel worthy or they don't feel enough or they feel like their body is broken. So when everything that you do comes from a belief that something's wrong with you, you're going to chase extreme measures. And when you're doing that, you're going to judge yourself every step of the way and every time that the results aren't perfect. I see this all the time when people will get on the scale and then they're going to look at that number as if it's a direct measure of your worth, right? It's like, in your mind, you want the scale to go down. And then when you go on the scale and it's either the same or it's gone up, you immediately drop into sulking and what's wrong with me and why can't I lose this weight and I'm no good, and you name it, right? The spiral continues and it's probably pretty negative as to how you're talking to yourself because of that scale. So because your self-worth was low, then you took an extreme measure of doing some crazy workout or some diet that just was not sustainable, didn't nourish your body, wasn't able to do for a long time. And then because that didn't work, you then told yourself, I'm broken, I'm the problem, I'm not worthy. Then you hop on the scale, and then the number isn't what you want, so that cycle continues. So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and also it makes matters worse. It's like a snowball in the wrong direction, right? You do an extreme measure because or actually, let's start back at the beginning. Your self-worth is low. You take an extreme measure. You look at that measure that doesn't measure anything towards your self-worth or your progress. You take it as 100% truth. If it's not what you want, you then lower your self-confidence and your self-worth, and then you continue to try other extreme measures, thinking that if I just try this new thing, I'll finally be fixed. I'll finally have the self-worth. I'll finally get the progress that I've been looking for all this time. But what if? What if the progress? What if the goal? What if the feeling that you're trying to achieve is not in some external extremity, external diet, external workout plan? What if it's right here within you? And you have the capabilities to tap into that instantaneously. It doesn't take months. It doesn't take years. Although actions and habits take that long, the identity shift happens instantaneously if you want it to, right? So that's the mindset that people are in a lot of times, is that fixing mindset. And what we need to do is we need to shift our identity. You notice these people, you see these women and men walking around and you feel like they've got it, right? That it factor, right? And the women who walk around with great energy and confidence, they don't see themselves as people trying to fix their health. They just see themselves as healthy women, right? Their actions that they're taking on a day-to-day basis are just proof of who they already believe they are. Every time they go for a walk, every healthy meal they eat, every early bedtime is a reinforcement of that identity. So the real transformation doesn't start when you fix your body. It starts when you start seeing yourself differently. And then by seeing yourself differently, those actions, those small little, they seem insignificant actions that you're taking on a day-to-day basis are now rewiring your identity and further pointing you in the direction to prove to yourself that you are that person. You're not disciplined to fix yourself and go on this extreme diet and it's finally going to work. I'm finally going to lose the weight because I'm not disciplined enough. No, you're going to be taking these actions because you are the person who cares about themselves. You are the person who loves themselves. You are a healthy person, and you are someone who is proactive about longevity and showing up as your best self. So when you take those actions, like parking at the back of the grocery store parking lot so you get extra steps in, that when you're in the grocery store, you're shopping around the perimeter and getting some whole nutritious foods, you're prepping yourself for the week, you're preparing for the next day, you're getting to bed at a decent time so that you wake up with energy, right? Those things, although they seem insignificant, are the things that implant that identity into you as indestructible. It's irrefutable that you are that person and no one can tell you otherwise. And most importantly, it doesn't matter what they think because you believe it to your core. Rather than saying, I have to get up tomorrow and get up early and get to this workout because I need to lose weight. Rather than the person who says, it's been a long day. I'm going to make sure that I get, I read my book, I take a nice hot bath, and I get in bed so that I can restore my energy for the next day. What's the difference, right? The one person is coming out of scarcity, that they need to fix something, that they need to prove to themselves and to someone else that they need to lose weight. And the other person is saying, I am in control of my schedule. I'm in control of my thoughts. I know that my body needs nourishment. I know that it needs recovery, and I'm going to prioritize that. Such a more calming, present way of being, and I bet you it leads to way better results down the road. So the role that comes into play is the fact that you need to take a role of healing and safety rather than just pushing through, trying to be disciplined and punishing yourself. Now, here's something that doesn't get talked about enough, right? Especially for women in the peri and postmenopausal phase, is that your body cannot heal if it doesn't feel safe. Now, if you're one of my clients or we've had a conversation about this, I've probably said some version of this before, and it's so true and it bears repeating, right? We've all heard of fight or flight and rest and digest, and these are states in which your body is in and how it's releasing, hormones and the approach that your body has internally based on its state. And if you are in the fight or flight state, your body does not feel safe. And that can happen in many different ways, from the stress levels at work to the food you're eating to your imbalance in your hormones. But the point I'm trying to make is when your body is in this state, it doesn't feel safe, and therefore it's not going to allow you to heal, right? When your body is stuck in fight or flight for years from things like stress, poor work, poor sleep, extreme dieting, it's not going to let go of weight. It's not going to digest food properly, and your hormones are going to stay imbalanced. So just remember, your body isn't broken. It's protecting you. It's actually doing exactly what it's supposed to be doing under stress, right? Your body's working perfectly. Congratulations. But it's working against you because you're in stress mode. You're in fight or flight. So what I'm trying to say is there's food that we're eating that causes stress. There's the job that we're, maybe not balanced with. Our schedule's out of whack. Our relationships are out of whack. There's stress coming from all different areas. Hey, hope you're loving the episode so far. Thanks for spending some time with me. I got a quick favor to ask. Make sure you're subscribed to the podcast because that's how I know you're getting value from the show. And this way, you never miss an episode. All right, now back to the show. The water you're drinking, the lack of sleep, that's causing your body to stay in fight or flight, which then doesn't allow it to feel safe enough to balance hormones, to have an easy digestion, to break down the nutrients in food, to release stored fat, to do all of those things. And again, here comes this vicious cycle of it furthers you from the results that you want. So here's how the process usually goes, right? If you're someone in your 40s, 50s, or up, you've been under stress for a long time. Maybe that's chronic stress. It doesn't have to be like car accident, extreme trauma stress, but it could be little things. And when that happens for 10, 20, 30 years, your body then puts up its walls. It starts, excreting extra cortisol. It starts holding back from certain things. It's not digesting food properly. So that leads to problems, which lead to fatigue, which leads to weight gain, which leads to, all of these other symptoms, hot flashes. There's a lot of things that can go wrong because of this stress for years and years. Then, for some of you, menopause hits, and then that really tanks things like estrogen, progesterone, and different, hormonal functions of the body. So that compounds onto it, and you say, I want to lose weight still. I have this extra, weight on my stomach. I really want this gone. I don't like the way I look. So then you take extreme measures like, working out super hard on an empty stomach and working out 6-7 days a week and trying these crazy diets that you see online where they're calorie restrictive because you thought that you just need to eat less and work out more because that's what everyone online and all of the doctors say. But what you're really doing is stripping your body from the nutrients that it needs, causing it to go into fight or flight. You are extremely exhausting your adrenal glands by working out so hard when your body's not, full of the minerals. It's mineral depleted. You're then not getting good sleep, which is causing stress, which is causing your energy to be low. And these things compound and get worse and worse. And the cycle continues. So instead of getting yourself closer to the life that you're trying to live, which on your fix-it mentality is just that you want to lose weight, you want to look better, and you want to feel good. But on a holistic point of view, you want to have energy, you want to be present, you want to feel calm and nurtured and safe, and you want to love yourself, right? I mean, that sounds so weird to say, but damn, don't you want to wake up and just be proud of who you are and be safe in your body, right? That's a cool life to live. And we're all searching for that in some way, shape, or form, but we disguise it behind these diets, behind these exercise plans, behind these extreme measures. And we need to take a step back, and we need to return to a path that's going to bring us to safety, right? One that, once safety returns and your body feels good, your body can do what it's designed to do. At homeostasis, it's called, is when your body's at balance. Your body knows how to heal. It knows how to digest food. It knows how to balance energy. It knows how to release stored fat. It knows how to do all those things. You don't need to tell your body and your cells what their jobs are. You just need to allow it to happen, right? So things that you can do to return back from fight or flight to safety are things like breathing and mindfulness, right? Eating a balanced meal, not a restrictive one. Slowing down and setting boundaries. This can't go unlooked, right? I actually heard in other countries that practice different types of, healing modalities that they were talking to clients and they were overworked, and the prescription that the doctor gave them was an extended lunch break and boundaries at the end of the night to where they were going to stop at a set point and be done with work. And guess what? Their gut problems went away. Now, this might be an N of one situation, but the point is still there, is that it's not always about medicine or these extreme measures. It's about giving yourself the right opportunities to feel safe and heal. Things like gentle stretching and walks instead of a punishing workout. I said this before in the conversation where some people are like, I gotta wake up and I gotta go work out or else I won't lose weight. That is a punishment mentality. You're saying, I want to go put myself through pain, strength train, run, whatever the workout is. You want to challenge yourself in order to lose weight. Rather than, I want to go lift some weights to strengthen my body and I want to go for a walk because my body has just gone through a lot this week and I just need a leisurely walk to move my body and lubricate my joints and get the blood flowing. Listening to what your body needs rather than punishing yourself out of this thought that you're not good enough or you need to fix a problem, right? And this leads us to grace and empowerment. This is the state that we want to be in. This is where empowerment comes from, because when you start taking action from a place of love and not fear, that's when everything changes, right? I've thankfully gotten to a place where I exercise because I love my body and I love the way it feels. And I know the benefits for me rather than saying I must work out or else, right? Everything changes because your approach isn't coming from scarcity and isn't coming from hate. If I step on a scale, it's because I want to track something. It's because I want to make sure that I'm not getting too far off track, but never do I step on that scale and let it determine who I am as a person, what my intention is in this world, and what my value is, because that's just not fair, right? And you stop trying to fix yourself and you start supporting yourself. And all of the actions that you're taking, you're looking at it as a supportive way to let your body heal rather than fix something that's broken. And you start asking, what would be a healthy, calm, confident version of me do today? Right? You look at yourself from that higher place and say, if all of this was true, if I already had the life and the body and the health that I'm looking for, what would that person do? So if your 2.0 version is calm, confident, healthy, feeling good, just vibrant and flowing through life, what actions would that person take and how would they approach that action? Right? That's the mindset that you have to get yourself into, because you need to practice becoming that person. Because guess what? Here's the trick, and I said it wrong, is because you're not becoming that person. You already are them. It takes a second, a snap, that you can switch from the person you are acting like now to being the person who you've always dreamed of being. You already are that person. Stop thinking they're so far away. You just need to act like them, and you're going to continue to prove to yourself that you are that person, right? Taking those small little steps daily. And that's why I talk about it. It's not these extreme workouts. It's not these perfect diets. It's the small little promises that you're making to yourself day in and day out, because you're choosing health, you're choosing love, you're choosing yourself over fixing yourself. And that further proves to you that you are that person right now. You didn't need to wait 20 years. You didn't need to wait until you were 10 pounds lighter. You don't need to wait until someone gives you the approval that you can be the person that you meant to be. You can be them right now, and you just have to choose, right? So again, you don't need to fix yourself. You just need to feel safe again. And healing happens when you give yourself the permission to slow down, to listen, and to act from love instead of punishment. Guys, I hope that you got some help from this. I hope that you learned something. I hope that something clicked for you. If it did, remember to share this with a friend, and most importantly, go take action, because you're the reason why I'm doing this. If you can get something, if you can learn something and improve your situation, that's all that matters. So I'll see you guys again next week. Hey, thanks for spending some time with me on today's episode. I hope you got a ton of value from it. If we're not connected on Instagram yet, let's change that. Hit me up at Sean Calhoun _. That's SEAN Calhoun _. Shoot me a DM. Let me know what you think of the show, or if you got any questions about how to level up your health. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next episode.